with Randy Fenoli, who you know from Say Yes to the Dress, and also Randy to the Rescue. Hi, Randy.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I am living every bride's dream right now because everyone wants to talk to Randy Fenoli about dresses and about weddings, so thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
What do you like most about being in Columbus and doing wedding shows like Columbus Wedding Show?
Well, what I really like is being able to get outside of New York City and getting with real America and real brides, and actually being able to help guide them find the perfect dress and really de-stress them. So many brides are so anxious about the bridal, day and about the wedding dress because it's something they've never done before, or at least most of them haven't done before. So it's my job to really de-stress them and kind of give them and guide them in a way that makes it easy for them to find the perfect wedding dress.
And why is the wedding dress so important? What makes it so important?
Well, it's the most important garment you will ever wear, unless you're an actress going down the red carpet at the Academy Awards. But you think about it, you're walking down the aisle towards the man you love more than anyone on the planet. And it's going to be the most photographed dress you've ever worn. So this dress really is symbolic. You're going to have those photographs forever, the memories forever, so it's a really important garment.
And what are some things that brides should keep in mind when they're picking out that dress? Maybe like the top 2 things they should think of.
Number 1, budget, because you don't want to be paying for the wedding after, it's over. And I think number 2, really select a dress that makes you feel beautiful. Because when you feel beautiful, it's not about the dress.
Right.
Because you are owning it. And when you walk in that room, your shoulders go back, your smile gets wider, you stand taller. I mean, you have that pose going on. And the way you walk down that aisle and everyone says, oh my gosh, that's the most gorgeous, beautiful bride I've ever seen. And it's not about the dress. It's about how you feel in the dress, and it just shows through.
And of course, we want to be trendy, maybe. Like, what are the wedding dress trends right now?
Well, half naked. Not for my daughter. If she were ever to get married, if I had a daughter,
I would. The wedding dress trend?
It's like the see-through and how much skin can you show, and how low can the back go, and it's like how low can the front go. I mean, I've seen it all this season. I've seen see-through wedding gowns on the runway. Yeah, I mean, slit all the way up to the waist. I mean, I've seen it all. And I think that we need to remember that, you are going to have your family there, and your fiance's family, and maybe your mother and grandmother and aunts, and they really don't need to see all that, and they really don't want to, and your fiance probably already has. So this is a day where I think you need to just be a little bit more in line with tradition and just hold back and be, save it for the honeymoon.
Now, when it comes to picking the dress, what are your thoughts on off the rack, boutique, custom made? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think boutique. Off the rack is, it's off the rack, of course. Custom made is a little more challenging unless you have a really good imagination. You're going to have to imagine what that dress is going to look like when it's made up. And that's really challenging for a lot of women because you haven't put it on your body. So I think to go to a nice bridal salon that carries a selection of dresses, especially from designers that you are attracted to. You start pulling out tear sheets from magazines or on the internet, and you'll realize that there's probably one designer that says, this is you. And so you find that salon that carries it, and then that's when you go and get your dress. That's where you go.
Now, is it good to think, okay, I want the dress that Kim Kardashian wore, or the one that, the princess wore, or the one that Jessica Simpson wore? Is that good advice?
I don't feel that. I feel that you should choose a dress that represents you and your fiance. And when I say that, it's really the couple's brand. And when I say that, are you a trendy couple? So maybe it is something like that. Maybe it is a trendy wedding dress. Are you more traditional? Are you maybe bohemian? Are you really flashy and want to wear like sparkly dress? Are you a sexy couple and want to be half naked down the aisle? I mean, and the good thing about today's bridal gowns is that literally you can find anything out there. Like if you show me a dress from the 1980s, I can tell you it's from the 1980s. Leg of mutton sleeves, pointed at the wrist.
The sleeves are coming back, right?
Well, you know what? They're showing them.
Okay.
But I don't know that all brides are buying them.
Right.
Reason being, because a wedding dress is so fitted, when you go to raise your arms, you can't really raise it in such a fitted garment. And girls want to dance and party on their wedding day and have a good time. So I think that they're showing a lot of sleeves, but I don't know if girls are actually purchasing them. But you can always get that look with a bolero or a shrug and still get movement out of it.
Now, reception dress and wedding dress, or do you think brides should just wear the same dress all night?
I am a traditionalist, and I think there should be one fiance and one wedding dress. However, if you are doing like an after party and it turns into kind of a nightclub scene, and you've had this big ball gown on all night and you just want to take it off and wear something a little more comfortable, then I could see changing into a second dress.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm typically against a second dress is because, you know, you wear it for the ceremony, then it's time to change, and the girl has to get all of her bridesmaids together and her maid of honor and her room key and get up the elevator and get up to her hotel room, and of course they have to have a glass of champagne and do their lipstick and powder their nose, get out of the first dress into the second one. By the time you get done, you've lost about an hour and a half of your reception, which may only be 4 to 6 hours long. So you're missing out on your wedding while you're changing your dress. It's not a fashion show, it's a wedding. So I like to remind brides of that it's really about just having a wedding dress and it being one, just like the fiance.
Veil, no veil?
Absolutely veil.
Veil.
Because without a veil, you're just a pretty girl in a white dress. That veil, for me, says bride is the only time in your life you're ever going to be able to wear a piece of tulle on your head and not look ridiculous. So you might as well take full advantage of it. But I think whether it's a cage veil or a long, slim veil, or even if it's just hair jewelry and flowers in the hair, I think you need some ornamentation to bring the eye up here. And I think when you put that veil on, it really is just ethereal, romantic, and beautiful when you walk down the aisle.
And you're hearing that all from Randy Fenoli himself. Now, really quickly, tell us, what can we expect when we come out to the wedding show? What are we going to hear from you?
Oh gosh, you're going to hear about where I grew up, how I grew up. I grew up on a farm in the Midwest.
A farm?
Yes, a cattle farm.
That's a long way from wedding dresses.
It's a long day away from New York City, yes it is. And it took me a long time to get there, but I struggled and I got there. And so I really talk about that, how I got that, what my past, what I went through in my past and how I got into bridal, and then how I stumbled into television and where I'm at now. And then I really take them on a journey on how to find the perfect wedding dress, tips and for their body types, how to balance that dress out if you're fuller busted, or maybe you have a fuller midsection or a fuller rear end. How to balance that out so you get that really nice hourglass silhouette. I have a lot of little tips and tricks that I can tell brides to make it really easy for them when they choose a wedding dress.
Well, I know they are all looking forward to that. We're all looking forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for being here.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.